the waiting didn't work for her, and how she's kind of torn on what she should say to her daughter. And, I guess where I go with that is, look, there's no guarantees in life, right? Just because you wait doesn't mean you're automatically going to have a successful marriage. You are putting the odds in your favor, though, based on all the numbers and based on my personal experience. I always know what happened when I didn't wait. I would drift into not great relationships with people that I wasn't all that into, but stuck. And but I do think that waiting is only one component. Okay, there's so many components that go into finding that right person. Waiting is one, but then discernment is huge. Like, you have to be able to hear God's voice. So if you married somebody that was a sociopath or whatever, he was, if he was a narcissist, or whatever his issue was, waiting should have allowed you to see those red flags. But also you're staying in a place of obedience to God, physically, sexually, and you should be able to hear his voice more clearly. Like, wasn't there any something in your spirit that was saying, no, don't do this? That's where I go with it. Like, I know waiting, yes, it allows you to read your own feelings and your own red flags. That's science behind that. Your amygdala actually shuts off in women when they fall in love. And that's, due to orgasm after sex is part of that. So literally your warning system will shut down in your brain and you won't see the red flags, but also you distance yourself from God because you're being disobedient. And now if he's trying to tell you, no, don't do this, you're not hearing him. So waiting kind of fixes those problems, but it doesn't mean that we can't take it if we want it. God's always going to give us free will. So I just feel like he was probably telling you not to marry this person and you just weren't listening. That's my guess. Whatever the reason was, whether it was that you weren't hearing from God or some lesson that you had to learn, it's the right way. It is the right way. It's going to set her up for success. What's the alternative? Not waiting? Just letting anybody, have the most important thing. You would give everything to somebody that's giving you nothing. That's what you're basically going to tell her. Doesn't work. So that's my advice. And if nothing else, you're obedient to God. Okay, it didn't work out for you, but you were obedient, right? That counts for something. I know it's it might not have got you the happy ending, and in all honesty, I didn't imagine my life would be like this after 22 years. Are you kidding me? For the most part, I'm proud of myself that I've stayed in the center of his will in spite of that, in spite of it not going the way that I wanted it to.